Social media has become a major part of today's society and lifestyles of everyday people, especially teenagers. This outlet allows people to like, comment, and share things with friends and followers. It is possible to communicate and exchange information, pictures, videos, and have everyday conversations with just a few clicks of a button. It is even now available to show what emotion you are feeling in text through the little faces called emojis. We asked a number of people from different age generations and backgrounds questions regarding social media. This is what they had to say. What do you think the world would be like without social media?
Boring!
I think the world without social media would be very simple, but hard to adjust to because everybody's so used to using it in their everyday lives. We use it to help run businesses, publicity, advertise, communicate with friends, but also I think it would be good because we could go back to how we used to be and people wouldn't be so engrossed in their phones, especially in a social setting. A lot of people just sit there on their phones checking Facebook and Twitter.
Life without social media would be a lot more difficult and a lot less interesting. It enables people like me to communicate with their relatives who may live great distance, to keep in communication with our children if they're out and about. Although it would, if we didn't have it, go back to how things used to be, where we actually spoke to each other and visited each other rather than use a computer screen.
Well, the world survived without social media for quite a while, so I think it would be a better place in some respects. I think people would go and see each other and visit each other more and get out a bit more. But in other respects, I mean, it's lovely to think you can find a long lost friend on Facebook or LinkedIn, or find people that you'd lost contact with, so it's not a bad thing.
What influence does social media have on your everyday life?
We only use YouTube so it doesn't affect our life.
Social media has a massive influence on my everyday life because I can communicate with my friends, talk to people who don't live around here, especially my friend who lives in Australia. I use it to promote my music as well and talk to new people. You can use it to communicate with people who are going to the same uni as you. There's groups. I am on my phone quite a lot because I like to communicate through social media. However, I think if I didn't have it, it wouldn't have a massive impact on my life because I think I'll be able to adjust to it.
Social media doesn't have a huge impact on my life, seeing as I don't really use it that much. I use it in respect of work, emails, but that's about it really.
Well, it certainly keeps me busy because obviously in work and at home, you know, keeping in contact with people is a full-time job now, isn't it? So I think it's making people a bit busier and possibly slightly tied to the computer a bit more than we should be.
Some may say that our internet lives are taking over our everyday lives and face-to-face communication has dropped. Instead of looking up and around, people are either looking forward or down, locked to a screen. We interviewed Debbie Bryden, a psychologist who gave us an insight into the addiction of social media. Is social media scientifically addictive?
Social media can be, I think, really scientifically addictive, mainly because a lot of it involves kind of feedback from other people, like likes and comments and stuff. And I think that in terms of psychology and sociology, it's all about like positive reinforcement. So every time someone likes something you do, then you're getting that kind of positive reward. So therefore that's going to make you share more and more and more. So yeah, in some ways I think social media generally can be addictive, but also I think it's a lot about esteem as well.
Why is communicating through social media often preferred over communicating face-to-face?
There are a few reasons I think why people prefer to talk on social media. It depends firstly who you are. Obviously some people are more marginalised in society, as we'd say in sociology, which means that possibly they can't get out because maybe health issues or the old, elderly. which means that it's kind of a practical way of them being able to kind of stay in touch. For example, old people, there's a new programme set up called Cyber Seniors, where teenagers teach elderly people how to use social media, which means they can stay in touch with their family on Skype, they can learn how their grandkids are getting on, they can use Facebook and sort of see photos, etc. Also, people with communication disorders, things like autism, they may not feel comfortable face-to-face, reading interaction, etc. So for them, it's a lot less stressful using social media.
Why do people feel the need that they need to share their life through social media?
I think a lot of people feel the need to share their social life because as humans we are social beings. So, years ago in an evolutionary sense, people function better with others around them. You need support from other people, and that is just a human sort of condition. Therefore, I think if you share your life on social media, people actually end up, as I said earlier, getting that positive feedback. But also if someone has really low self-esteem, it can be good to get that sort of positive reward of people saying a nice comment on your profile picture, etc.
We decided that it'd be interesting to see how teenagers could cope without the influence of social media through a 1-week experiment where 2 candidates will try to go without using any social media whatsoever, to see really how addictive it is. At first we interviewed them both on how they think the experiment will go. How do you think the experiment will affect you?
Overall, I don't think the experiment will affect me that much. I don't think I'm too reliant on social media.
I don't think it will necessarily affect me, but just make me realise how much I rely on social media.
How long do you think you can go without social media?
Right now, I'll probably go about 3 days without social media, although I think I'd find it harder than expected after the first day.
I'm hoping I can go a full week, otherwise I'll be disappointed in myself.
They then filmed themselves participating in the experiment. This is how they got on.
So it's the end of the first day, or end of my first day without social media. I deleted all the apps and everything off my phone. Found it fairly easy once I realised the apps weren't there around midday. Then after that it just got easier and easier throughout the day, so hopefully the rest of the week is as easy. We'll soon see.
So it's the end of day 1 and it's going pretty well actually, and I started reading a book to entertain myself and I'm not finding it too hard. But I'm hoping that the rest of the week is as easy as this.
So it's now the end of the second day. Not as easy as yesterday. Got bad withdrawal symptoms from everything, so we'll see how the rest of the week pans out, as I said before.
So it's day 2 and I'm getting quite bored now without social media because I haven't been able to contact my friends or anything, but I've been spending more time with my family.
Halfway through day 3, a bit better today. Didn't feel the need to check anything at all. But yeah, so it's going well, I think. So hopefully I should be able to last 5 days. Fingers crossed.
It's day 3 now, and today I realised how much I actually use social media because I can't contact my friends and I'm just not able to see what's going on in people's lives. I'm also finding it hard to entertain myself and I keep getting really bored.
At the end of the 4th day, I failed the experiment task, whatever it was I had to do. Yeah, I checked Instagram and Facebook around my lunch break, so yeah. A lot harder than I thought it would have been. Obviously, if not I would have completed it. But yeah, so I cracked.
So it's day 4 now, and I spent the day out with my family, so social media didn't really affect me that much. But I did kind of want to share my day through social media, but obviously I couldn't. So it's finally day 5, and it's probably been the best day for me. Just knowing that I can be back on social media tomorrow made it easy for me to enjoy a day without it. And watching TV shows has made up for not having social media.
Social media can have a bad influence on everyday life. It creates a lack of social skills and makes it easier to abuse others online, especially for children who are in a challenging environment, as many children just want to be socially accepted. According to NoBullying.com, 81% of young people think that bullying online is easier to get away with than bullying someone in person, and 70% of students report seeing frequent bullying online. We caught up with Sarah Blair, a Year 10 maths teacher, who has had first-hand experience with the effects of social media within class. Do you think social media affects students' concentration?
I think social media can affect students' concentration. They often live in a virtual world that they can't switch off from, and sometimes live their life through status updates and tweets. And it's so accessible to them that it can become very distracting. They find themselves drawn into it when on the internet to complete research for homework, which then distracts from the actual homework.
Have you ever had to deal with a case involving cyberbullying with one of your students, and how did you deal with it?
Some of my colleagues in the past have had to deal with incidents of cyberbullying, particularly over Twitter. It's very difficult to deal with as a teacher because it's happening outside of school. We do have a duty of care to our pupils to make sure they are not being bullied or being the bully. In cases like that, we make sure that we get the parents involved and have a good working relationship with the parents, because if they're not on side, then there's going to be no control over things like that at home. To try and combat cyberbullying and to make all pupils aware of how to use the internet correctly and safely, we do e-safety training on a regular basis. And only last month we had somebody from county come in to give sessions to all the pupils in the school. That's from reception up to year 11, which was then followed on in the evening with a session for parents, who all found it very useful, quite shocking and very eye-opening. And I think that's key, that we're teaching everybody about this, and the relationship we have with our parents is vital to trying to stop such incidents happening.
How has education changed due to social media?
I think social media has changed education. We need to make our pupils aware of how to use the internet safely. As a teacher, I have to be very mindful of what I post and share via social media, because although my settings are very secure, it doesn't stop pupils from trying to track me down. On the other hand, though, it can be very positive, and it's certainly a useful tool for education, in the sense of being able to raise awareness for a whole range of issues.
However, social media does have many plus sides. It has given us the opportunity to have communication around the world at a click of a button. One thing that has definitely been boosted by social media is business. Social media gives businesses the opportunity to promote their products and to get their businesses more well known. We talked to Debbie Coleman, a business owner who runs solely on social media, to see how the internet really affects her business. How has social media affected your business?
Well, when I started at my Facebook page, I changed over from selling on eBay to a Facebook shop, which is better because you interact with the customers. People, I think that people feel a bit more, because it's more friendly. People like to interact with you, and they can change colours, change products, and talk to you about things.
Do you think that social media has made it easier to manage your business?
In some respects, yes. I like the interaction with customers, messaging's easier. People like to see who you are and what you're doing, and it makes it a lot more personal. So it doesn't make much difference in terms of actually selling the items and sending items, but I think in terms of customer interaction, yeah.
Do you think that social media has made it easier to manage your company?
I would. I was using eBay stores and my website before, so that's how I'd continue if it wasn't for social media.
We decided to catch up with our 2 experiment candidates to see how our experiment has made them think more about social media and their feedback on how they did. Were you surprised on the outcome of the experiment?
Yeah, I'd say I was. I thought I was going to be able to last longer than I did. I thought I'd find it easier, but it was actually quite difficult.
Yes, in the way that social media can stop you socialising with the people around you and how much it has became a part of our lives. However, I'll probably continue using it how I used to. Has this experiment changed your views on social media?
Not particularly. I'd say it's made the... Fuck, sorry.
Do you want me to read it again?
Overall, I wouldn't say it has changed my views on social media at all. Although it has made me realise that I depend on it a lot in my day-to-day life. But no, I wouldn't say it's changed my views that much.
No, not really, because I knew how much I use social media, so I know not having it would change how I live. So now I'm not really surprised at all.
So, stop. Look around. Turn off your phone. Have some time. Turn off your notifications. Open your eyes to what is around you. Take it all in. Breathe. Love your whole world, but don't share that with the world. Instead of tweeting, listen to the birds tweeting. Instead of Facebooking, read a friggin' book. Instead of going up a level on Farmville, learn some actual life skills. Go out, seek adventure.